Let's actually get into it. So the reason I'm actually making the video is to actually explain why um I'm a big supporter of doing my own hair now than I was in the past. I'm a huge salon person. If I can imagine or think of the amount of times I've spent at a salon, probably I've been there in the last, say, maybe 2 years. I've probably been to the salon like 50 times or so. I usually do get my hair braided. This is my style of choice. It is the protective style, my go-to protective style, if I can put it that way. I really, really like how braids look. I like how they last. I like how versatile they are. I can use them, I can wear them all the time with anything, whether it's formal, whether it's casual. This is my go-to hairstyle. I've spent so much money going to the salon and doing my hair that it's I mean, if I'm spending like 500 rand doing my hair um every 3 months or every 4 months, I'm spending quite a ton of money a month. I'm spending about 2,000 rand just to do braids, in a year, and that's just if I'm doing it that many times, if I'm doing it 4 times a year, and not to mention the petrol and all of that. And this is not to say I'm being cheap. This is not to say I'm being miserly. It's not to say I'm stingy, but it is nice to do your own hair because when I think about it, this cost me 60 rand to do, and that is 6 packets of ebony hair that I bought. Compare 60 bucks and compare 500 bucks, there is a huge difference. Plus I'm saving on petrol, I'm saving on money. Basically, I'm saving money. So that is my number one reason. Actually, if I'm just gonna put it out there, my number one reason for doing my own hair is because I will be saving quite a bit of money that I can use for other things, and I mean, obviously, people who do hair in salons do hair do it because they're making a living, and they're doing it because they want to make money. However, if I can save, wherever I can save, then sure, I'm going to do my own hair, and that's my number one reason. Number two, I'd say, is I save a lot of time. I don't have to go to the salon at a specific time, and I don't have to leave very late. Usually I'd find myself sitting at the salon from like 9 in the morning, and I only go back home around 3 in the afternoon, and that's a long time to wait for my hair to be done. Yes, it might have taken me almost 12 hours, about 12 hours to do my hair, but I can move around. I don't have to sit there for like a strict 4 hours or 4 hours at a time or 2 hours at a time. I'm flexible to move around in the house. I can go to the bathroom when I want to go to the bathroom. I can eat when I want to eat. I'm here with my family. I'm in my house. It's just better, and I can do other things as well in between. Whether that is doing a little bit of work, doing a bit of housework if that's what I have to do. But just being at home is so much better because I can also ask my mom to help me open some lines in my hair, so it just saves a lot more time there for me to actually travel and go get my hair done. So I think that's, for me, that is the number two reason I can think of, that I control my time. I control my time. And this might be, trivial to some people, but to me it's very important, especially because I do suffer from back issues, and sitting on a specific chair for that many hours does result in me coming home with the biggest discomfort and back pain, because I usually experience a lot of that when I sit for long hours. So I'm supposed to walk every other hour. I shouldn't just sit down. So it prevents me being in pain. Yes, my hands and my shoulders were painful, but it's not my back that's so affected, and I don't have to remedy it afterwards because I was able to move and be flexible. The third reason I would say is that I control the thickness, I control the length of my hair. I basically control how my hair looks. And I know you can't tell someone at the salon how to do your hair, but I realized that a lot of the times you will tell the lady how you'd like your hair to be done, and usually you have to keep explaining this over and over again. But when you do it yourself, you're actually able to control how you do the length. Obviously, if you're still starting out and it's only maybe your first time or your second time, your braids won't be the exact same size, or you'll find that they might not be the exact same length. But as you learn how to do it and the more comfortable you are, the easier it's going to get. So with this, I find that I want them to be thick, because I've had experiences at the salon, and I don't know about everybody else, but I've had experiences at the salon where I'm like, no, I'd like it this thick, and the lady will probably do the braid like 2 times, and I'll end up saying, oh, okay, this length, this thickness is fine, even though I want it to be a different kind of thick. A lot of salons also don't want to waste hairpiece, especially if they're using their own hairpiece, so they'll try and make it like less thicker. If you look at my braid, okay, it's I don't know if you can see it. Actually, it's actually quite thick, and I use quite a lot of hairpiece, you know. So I know some salons, they don't want to make it that thick, you know. So, and I can control the length. Some of them don't want to make it too long, you know, because they don't want to braid all the way down. I mean, this is not like a heavy problem, like it's not the problem I've experienced a lot, but I can say that it's something that I find that, I mean, if I'm doing my own hair, it's really, really, really nice, because I can control that. I can control the length, and I can control how thick I want it to be. You know, if ever I decided that, oh, I want some to be thicker than the others, I want a mix of thickness, which would be weird, but I can actually decide that for myself. A lot of the times at salons, they tell you what will actually look good, which is okay, obviously, because you know, if somebody else asks you, hey, who did your braids? Oh, I did it at that salon. And that's how they also generate their word of mouth and marketing and so forth. So I do understand why some salons want to do the hair in a specific way. But I really I like that I can control that. I can control how thick I want it to be and how long I want it to be. My fourth reason is that I found this in certain salons, and again, it's not certain people that I do my hair, it's a variety of people. Sometimes I've found a mix in my braids. So let's say they run out of color one, for example. As time goes by, I'll be like, this is like a brownish color. And they're like, oh no, sorry, we ran out of color one, so now we're using color two. And I'd be like, but I didn't ask for color two. And now you find that it's too late. They are almost done. They're about to dip your hair in the water, you know. So I have found this to be an issue. Or sometimes they run out of hairpiece, and then they literally tell you that they have to now mix it because they can't go buy more hairpiece. So for me, that is a bit of an annoyance. It's not a big deal, but if I want color one, I want color one. If I want color two, I will specify that I want color two. Sometimes they don't even have color one, for example, and now you've been waiting, and they only tell you as soon as they're about to braid you, because you know, you get into the salon, you're like, okay, this is what I want to do. Do you have black or do you have color one? And they'll be like, yes, yes, we do. When it's time for them to actually braid your hair, they'll usually say, oh no, we actually only have a few packets of color one for your hair, and what you would like, we have color two. And now you've been sitting there for 2 hours waiting for the lady who's going to do your hair, and now you you have to sit with color two, you know, because it's like, I'm not gonna wait 2 hours and then leave here and not get my hair done. So you're like, oh, I'm just gonna get my hair done with the color. I don't know if these are things people experience, but it's definitely what I experience. So the advantage about doing my own hair is that I will buy the amount of packets that are required for me to do my hair, and I will use the color that I want. I don't want a mixture of color two somewhere at the back of my head where I don't see it, you know. Excuse me, I think that's just But I'm able to make it. I'm able to make my braids look the way that I want my braids to look. I'm able to, they'll look the way that I want them to look. Whether it is thicker, whether it is thinner, whether I want like 5 braids on my head or I want 100, but I'm able to make them look the way I want to look, and I'll be happy. Also, one thing just to add is that I realized that 90% of the time when I go to the salon, I'm unhappy. I go home being like, okay, it's cool, like I like it, it's nice, but it's not exactly how I wanted it. Granted, I can't do all hairstyles. I'll still probably go to the hair salon to do other hairstyles, sure. But box braids, I feel like if I can just learn how to do them, I can do any style of box braids, whether it is or smaller braids, thinner braids, a twist. Maybe I'll learn how to twist my hair. But if I'm learning, then it's just gonna make life a lot easier for me. And then one of the most important actually, I know I've said quite a lot are important, but one of the most important things is my hairline. Now, this has been my struggle at the hair salon for as long as I can remember. Now, if you look at my braids, you will see that the front boxes are thick. Okay, this one just doesn't look like a box, but it's a box, I promise. Are thicker, right? And I do this because I don't want my hairline to suffer because of a hairstyle. Now, I've seen a lot of ladies, and I've spoken to some of the ladies where I get my hair done at the salon, and quite a lot of them actually say that people don't mind sacrificing their hair for that hairstyle at the time. And for me, that is just absolutely weird, because I feel like when you undo your hair, already being in whether it is in a protective style, whichever style you choose, your hair being braided means that when you take your hair out and you comb your hair out, you're going to lose hair automatically. That's just, you're going to lose hair, right? However, now you're literally putting so much tension on your hair, and you're like, some people, you won't even see the hairline. That's how tight they braid it. And for me, I just could not do that anymore. Like, I can't. You'll actually ask them that, please don't hold my hairline too tight, please let there be a good block, let there be some space, let just, it could be like a bit tighter at the back and so forth, but the parameters of my head, like, please don't tighten it so much, and they end up tightening it. It's like, what are you trying to do to me? Are you trying to kill me? I don't understand. I really don't understand. You're just sitting there and you're like, this is my hair. This is my head. Please don't do that. And I found myself so many times saying, please don't pull too tight at the edges of my hairline. And I usually use, like, there are 2 specific salons that I go to. There's one that is closer to my house, and then there's one a little further away. So I don't go to a bunch of hair salons. I mean, obviously, as the years have gone by, I'm 27. I've been to a lot of salons with the same problems. But obviously, in the recent years, I only go to 2 places. It's either the one closest to my house or the one furthest away from my house. And I always tell the lady the same thing: please open blocks, and please don't braid my hairline too tightly, and this has been a constant battle, because I care a lot about my hairline. Because as much as you can, like, get hair food that repairs and grows your hair, sometimes alopecia is serious, to a point where your hair is not going to come back, and when you wear and tear your hair after so many times, or after so long, your hair is going to be awful. Like, you're going to lose your hair. So for me, that is the most important important thing about actually doing my own hair, is that my hairline is not going to be affected. And Sorry about that. So yes, preserving my hairline is one of the most important things. And also lastly, um salons braid hair too tightly from my experience, and I know even when you do your own hair, you should be able to get a firm grip on your hair, and it should be tight to a certain level so that the hair doesn't come out. However, it shouldn't be so tight to a point where you cannot sleep at night. I remember an experience that I had a few years ago where literally my head, after doing, while the lady was doing the braid, I told them like, this is too tight, can you please loosen it? And every single time I say that, maybe the one she'll do looser, the next one will be tight. And I don't know, I feel like I wasn't young enough. I wasn't that young that I couldn't tell her to actually stop it. There was a point where I wanted to say, please stop it. But it was getting late. I'd been sitting there again 4 hours, and I was like, I just wanted to finish. When I got home, literally I could feel my scalp pulsing. For about 3 days I was in so much pain, I could not sleep. And I wanted to take out my braids every time, but I didn't pay for those braids at that time. I think my mom gave me money for my braids at that time, and it was so painful, that I never went back to that salon again. It was another salon that is actually like literally 2 minutes from where I live. I never went there again because it was so tight that when I took out my hair, I had a lot of scabs in my scalp. I had scabs, and even if I moisturized my hair, I moisturized it so much, I did treatment, it just didn't get better. It only got better after a very long time. So your hair should never be tight as to a point where you cannot sleep, you can't even think, or your head is literally pulsing. Luckily my hair did not fall out, especially like my hairline. I still had my hairline, but my hair was never the same again after that. It was one of the most painful experiences ever. So that's also another great thing about doing your own hair, is that you don't have to experience such tightness, because even when you are braiding, although your hair will be tight, because after doing this, my hair, obviously I did feel like, oh, it's a bit tight, but to the touch, it was never something like the next day I was like, hey, like, I could tie my hair up. It wasn't painful. It's not supposed to be painful. It can be a bit tender, it can be a bit you could feel that, oh, okay, I did something to my hair, but it should never be to a point of being so painful, because it really damages your hair. And it's unnecessary for your hair to be that tight. Although we do want braids to be very neat, your braids shouldn't be so tight to a point of you know that you cannot even function. So I know this video is super long. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any crazy salon experiences, please leave a comment at the bottom. If you have any tips for me on how to do my hair in a shorter space of time instead of 12 hours, please leave a message below. And just comment anything you really want to comment about hair. If you're also trying to do your own hair, if you have experiences doing your own hair, if you have a great experience at salons, please do leave a comment. Thank you for watching.